Everybody, it's Camo Day for the 16th of July 2021. Let's do some letters, shall we? We were talking this morning about how many YouTube nomadic channels seem to be going downhill on YouTube in terms of the number of people watching and the amount of money people are making on YouTube. But that's somewhat deceptive because a lot of YouTubers now are moving over to Patreon. Patreon is different than YouTube because you have to pay to see everything on Patreon. They should call it P-A-Y-T-R-O-N, T-R-O-I, whatever. Patreon, pay, like pay. Patreon is pay to see it, okay? Yeah, so people set up tiers on Patreon, $5, $10, $20, and then you get access to, free exclusive content and outtakes and other things, free, live chats that are, you can say anything you want, right? Anyway, an anonymous person writes in talking about Nomadic Dramatic, Derek. He mentions his Patreon as if the viewer/fan is missing out on being part of a select club with first-hand information. At 414 members, even at the lowest tier, $5, which I have to think averages on the low end, $10, he's looking at $2,500 to $4K a month income, and that's in addition to what he makes on YouTube. And I'll bet the Patreon goes up again after the last You're Missing Out video, which he did on YouTube, where he talks about a whale. Anyway. Just my anonymous observation. And, again, Patreon does take 30%, I think, on most channels. So, we're talking about, 4K minus 30%, which is still a lot of money for most people. So, I don't know. We are seeing more and more people moving over to the subscription model on Patreon. And, hey, if they can do it, if they can swing it, so let them swing it, right? Market Share writes, the revenue losses there at YouTube amongst the nomads are due partly to viewer losses. Viewer losses are 100% due to saturation of a market. The Google YouTube machine needs to start showing a profit off of YouTube and marketing. If you look at the analytics of new channels, new nomad channels, travel and RV, retired and living free, the channel will only grow and prosper and gain views if they appeal to a larger demographic audience. The creator nowadays needs to keep it clean, stay out of politics, limit their pet time on the channel unless the channel is about pets, and most importantly, stop e-begging and complaining about everything, including the hot weather, the cold weather, the windy weather. The most successful YouTube channels that are making a decent living nowadays are making much more money off endorsing products and independent marketing contracts than they are from AdSense, says Market Share. People are not driving certain vehicles, wearing certain merchandise, hats, sunglasses, etc., without being paid for it. Yeah, you do see a lot of videos about, people are using, we already see, using products in their RV. Everything you see there is being paid for, it's all, anyway, that's true. Anyway, Market Share adds, finally, I wouldn't be surprised if in the very near future, if a channel has 25 to 300,000 subs and barely, it barely pulls down 600 to 800 a month in AdSense revenue without all the sponsorships and other stuff. That's true. Somebody was watching, Little Gojira was watching my interview with RV Camper and couldn't help noticing that where she was parked was taking up to 6 parking spaces. Well, it was at a closed business, okay? The business there was a sports bar that is never opened ever. So there was nobody in the parking lot. The business was closed, and that's why she was parking there. There were some other places in the neighborhood she could have parked in, but that we looked at and said, hey, it's a closed business. I don't think anyone's going to care, and nobody did if she parked there. RV Camper, she writes, I should have a live chat and give her all the proceeds. What? That's $35, darn it, I need it. It's true, Rick says, you notice when the views go down on a YouTube Nomads channels, in many cases, the Patreon membership goes up. That is also very true. Now, we do see some nomads that are just running out of steam and all that. But again, you got to wonder, yeah, the Patreon's up now, but those numbers are going to fluctuate a lot because, you're shelling out money every month to watch this channel. And if you really got to be performing to keep that money up. And we've seen certain nomads that have had over 500 Patreons, and now they're down to 400 and some, in the lower 400s, and it fluctuates. You're going to probably see a lot more of that going on, but still 400 Patreons, and if they're paying 500, at least 500, if they're paying $5 a month, that's $2,000 minus 30%. So that is, $1,700 a month or something like that, or that's that's nice money if you get it. Jessica Young says, when you do clickbait deliberately, like Aja did about her breakup, knowing that John was still with her, I was disappointed that she did that. We see that in all the, we see that she left me, he left me, whatever. All the time, he went to Snow and Kurt did that, where Snow got a plane and went to Florida to be with her family for a week, and Kurt kept running. She left me, but she did, but she's coming right back. Sheila says that she stopped watching the Nomads. It's a big snore fest, but I watch the Camo Dave channel now for the updates on all the gloppy food they eat, etc. LOL. Well, what if I put that, would you pay $5 a month or $10 a month to watch my Camo Dave reviews? Would you do that? I don't know. Maybe I'm sitting on a gold mine here. My philosophy has always been, I want my stuff to be free. I don't want to charge you money to see anything. And then if you want to throw me some extra PayPal, which I, thank you very much for, that's paypal.me/DCRTV. The link is down below. I've used PayPal to supplement my YouTube income, and some months I do very well with that. But I've just always been against starting a Patreon. I don't know. Do you think I should? Would you pay to see my channel? I wouldn't pay to see my channel. I wouldn't pay to have a t-shirt with my picture on it. So why would you want to pay to have a t-shirt with my picture on it, right? That's kind of what goes through my head. I don't know. I don't know, man. But if I did start a channel where I'm living in my car, little Adam, maybe I should put that exclusively on Patreon. Duh. A lot of this Patreon thing is akin to what Howard Stern did. Howard Stern left broadcast radio back in 2006, and he had a huge audience, as our ex-president would say. And then he went to Sirius XM, Sirius then and now Sirius XM, and his audience shrunk. But they were all paying, whatever, $12, $10 a month for his little tier there of channels. So even though his audience shrunk and his influence in society shrunk because now, a lot of people aren't watching him anymore. However, he did very well financially with the deal. So he got richer, but his audience shrunk and his influence shrunk. And I think we're seeing the same thing with some of these nomads. They're not going to be as popular anymore, but they are going to have a, bigger payday. Let's just say that. JB says, for once, the smartest ex-YouTuber might be Mike, Living Free Mike, a.k.a. Mikey. He got out of YouTube before the S hits the fan. I don't know. Lee says, I've noticed that when people start complaining, the views go down. Nomadic you-know-who was in a constant bitch mode, about the rain for some time. No one wants to hear that. Wonder how she had a complaint video that she took down where I guess she was complaining a lot. But according to Lee, she has now changed her tune and is keeping her videos positive. Yeah, positive videos make more money. I think that's right. And finally, Jen says the pandemic blew the numbers up for some YouTube channels because there were more people at home watching. Now that summer's here, people are outside and going on vacation. I think the numbers will go back up, but not perhaps to the pandemic numbers unless we have another wave, which we hope doesn't happen. Hey, thank you very much for watching our letters video for the 16th of July, 2021. Don't forget, every Saturday, 2 live streams, 9:30 a.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern right here on the Camo Dave channel. The afternoon one, the evening one is the call-in show. We got, I'm going to have to put the callers on delay. We've gotten some nasty callers the last couple times, but I don't know, man. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Vlog under.
Bye.